when we're looking at word problems for solving geometry and bodies in motion, such as perimeters, areas, volumes, it's very important that the first thing we do once we read the problem is to recognize what formula we're going to be using. So let's look at page 17, problem number 2. Let's read it together. The length of a rectangle is 3 meters shorter than 3 times its width. Okay, so we know from that sentence we are dealing with a rectangle. Okay, find the length and width if the perimeter is 210 meters. So now we know a little bit more. We're dealing with a rectangle, and we're going to be using the perimeter formula, which, if you remember, perimeter equals two times your length plus 2 times your width. So we know what this is here. This is supposed to be 210 meters. Okay, I'm going to write that in there. Write it all over. Now we have to figure out L and W. The key to these are pretty much writing identities for L and writing an identity for W. Then we're going to substitute one of them in. And what I mean by that is, well, let's look what it says here. So the length, what does it tell you about the length? We're going to try to figure that one out. The length is 3 meters shorter than 3 times its width. So it must be 3 times the width minus 3 meters. Okay. I'm going to put an L there. Like that. So 3 times the width, and then it needs to be shorter, or subtract 3 meters from it. So we wrote out identity for L. Does it say anything more about width? No, it doesn't. But what we've done here is we've now been able to eliminate L in this formula here by just substituting it in. So we can pretty much place this into that because it's the same thing. But it says L is also equal to this right here. So that means we can plug that in for L. And that's what we're going to do. Then we'll have all W's and we'll only have one variable to deal with, which makes it very easy to solve. So let's rewrite it out now that we know what L is. So 2 times L, which is 3W minus 3 meters. And that's a meter sign. That's what that is right there. Just to show you the units. Plus 2W. Now we just have to do basic math by distributing the 2 out to each of these. Just rewriting everything. So this is going to be 6W minus 3, nope, not 3M, 6M, because there's going to be 2 distributed out to it. 6M plus 2W. Okay, we can add these like terms right here, and we can, well, let's first add 6 meters to both sides. That way we can get rid of this 6 right here. And at the same time, we will combine these 2 like terms. So it makes it 8W. This should be 216. Now divide by 8, and width should equal, let's get our calculators out, 27, and that's 27 meters. Remember that. You have to remember this little unit sign. So 27 meters. We figured out one of them, but are we done? We are not, because it asks us for both width and length. Now we need to figure out length. Well, this is the easiest part. All you have to do is plug this W in back into this equation right here, and we can solve for L then. So let's write it right here. So 210 meters equals 2L plus, and it's not 2W now because we know what W is in terms of meters. So let's do 2 times 27 meters. Now let's resolve this. This should come out to 54 meters. We still got the 2L and the 210 over here. Subtract 54 meters from both sides. And then plug it into your calculator. So 156 meters equals 2L. Divide by 2, and we get 78. 78 meters equals the length. Now we've figured it out. To conclude the problem, why not make it look really neat? And we'll just put, we usually put the letter first. L equals 78 M, and W equals 27 M. So that's how you figure it out. Let's try number 3. Problem number 3, just so we get this cemented in our mind. Okay, find the base. Oh, let me rip this first. Oops. There we go. Okay, find the base of a triangle if its area is 54 square centimeters and its altitude is 9 centimeters. So we're dealing with a triangle here, and we're dealing with its area. So we need the area of a triangle formula. That's the first key. What is the area of a triangle? It is area equals 1/2 times base times height. What did they tell us in the problem that we already know? Okay, we know its area, it's 54 square meters. And its altitude, or its height, is 9 centimeters. Okay. So 54 goes in here. This is a really easy one. We just have to plug this stuff in. Nothing too fancy here. So centimeters squared equals 1/2 base, which we don't know, and we do know the altitude, which is 9 centimeters. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We need to isolate this B by itself. So let's get this over there and that side over there. So first thing is multiply both sides by 2. And what that will do is that's going to cancel out with this. We'll get rid of that. Then also divide by 9 centimeters. So these both, well, let's put it right here. How about that? Okay, so now we canceled everything over there. Now we just have to resolve this. So 54 times 2 divided by 9 equals 12. And it's not centimeters squared because remember, these get canceled out. This and this get canceled out. So it's just centimeters equals B. So just remember, most important thing is once you read it, identify what type of shape it is and what type of formula. If you're going to use if you're trying to look for area or perimeter, they're all different. So make sure you figure out the geometric shape and the formula corresponding to that problem. And then after that, it's just substitution and you're good.